Welcome back. So glad that you joined me. Currently, as we look at everything going around us, we often are drawn into what naturally brings us down. That's not something that God has programmed us with. That's something that, because we are human, we naturally are drawn to the bad things of life. It's sad to say that that's the reality of humanity, of the times, of the seasons, of the situations, but that's what we automatically focus on. God continues to call us back and tell us that what He wants us to focus on is not what we're focusing on now. We need to focus on, number one, what is eternal, number two, on Him, and number three, on what's going on with others around us. If you remember, a number of times we've talked about the very fact that God's love language is that of service. And He calls us to the same thing. He calls us to remember that those situations, those seasons happen. It's not for us to focus on that and what's going on. What He wants us to do is to realize that while things are bad and things are going to be bad, that's not how our focus needs to be. Though we may be afflicted, though we may be crushed, though we may be perplexed, we don't need to be despairing because God is in control. Not only does He have the say now, He's had the say from the beginning, and He will have the say throughout eternity. But not just that, and this is something that continues to give me hope, is that God has the final word. But not just that, as we look at our Bibles, we see that God's final word existed before anything else ever did. That is something that should give us hope because God is in control. We have nothing to worry about. He continues to call us to keep our focus on Him. Today's verse comes to us from 2 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 8, and it says this: "We are afflicted in every way, but not crushed, perplexed, but not despairing." Maybe we should go back a little bit and actually look at this in the full context. Starting in verse 7 is a good place to start. "But we have this treasure in earthen vessels, so that the surpassing greatness of the power will be of God and not from ourselves. We are afflicted in every way, but not crushed, perplexed, but not despairing, persecuted, but not forsaken, struck down, but not destroyed, always carrying about in the body the dying of Jesus, so that the life of Jesus also may be manifest in our body." That's a good reminder, isn't it? Jesus is the one that is in control. We need to be found in Him so that no matter what's going on, no matter what happens, victory is assured. You may not ever see it here and now, but it's in Him that all this is continually found. Thank you again for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you next time as we continue to study God's Word together. God bless.